Wanderstop is meant to be more than just another cozy game. It is an upcoming narrative-centric game about running a tea shop and experiencing change. It is directed and written by the creator of the Stanley Parable and developed by Davey Wreden, promising to challenge the cozy game genre with its thought-provoking narrative and the question of what it means to truly heal. So today we're having a first early look at Wanderstop. I have been following the development for this game for such a long time now, so I'm super grateful to Davey Wreden for the early opportunity. But without further ado, let's dive in. We are introduced to Alta, a champion fighter who had never once lost a fight, until one day. Despite being devastated and utterly confused by her loss, she quickly decides that there is no point in giving up and that she is going to train harder than ever to become the strongest fighter once again. So she sets out on a journey to find Master Winters, hoping that she will train her to achieve her goal. But as Alta pushes herself to the limit while traveling through the forest, she realizes that the sword she always carried has suddenly become a heavy burden. And before she knows it, she passes out in the middle of the forest. She then wakes up in a beautiful, enchanting garden and finds out that she was rescued by Boro, the friendly tea shop owner of Wanderstop. And this is how he offers her the chance to accompany him in making tea for his customers, at least for as long as she needs to recover before continuing her journey. Boro then teaches us everything about tea brewing and farming. We are free to navigate the beautiful property of the Wanderstop tea shop, and we quickly learn how to equip our tools and stash them in our pockets for later. Our first step is to dry the tea leaves for making tea. Boro tells us how to use the basket to first gather tea leaves and then place them in the drying station. But aside from tea leaves, we can also use a variety of other ingredients for our tea, which is where the farming comes into play. There are many different ways to plant crops in unique patterns, water them, and eventually harvest them. We are also given a field guide with details on all the different kinds of seeds and plants, along with the effects they will have when used as ingredients. The tea making process is also a little more elaborate, as expected of a cozy life sim that is mainly focused on brewing tea. First, we need to pour and boil the tea water, then direct it into an infuser. In this infuser, we place all the ingredients we want to include in our tea, and there are many different combinations we can try. For our first tea recipe, we use the dried tea leaves we prepared earlier and a carrot-looking fruit called chip from our first harvest. After successfully brewing our very first tea, we give it to Boro to try. He then invites us to take a moment and sit with him on the bench. Alta has been somewhat reluctantly following Boro's instructions, but she soon expresses her frustrations. She feels like she is wasting time instead of working toward her goal. When Boro suggests that it is okay to change course and maybe let some of the things go, she feels deeply offended. Fully enraged, she rushes back into the forest, only to once again pass out and be picked up by Boro. Boro is a super kind soul who speaks to Alta with understanding and care, despite her being a little rude and unappreciative of his efforts. He tells her that she looks extremely tired and far too exhausted to continue pushing forward, and he teaches her that sometimes it is okay to do nothing but rest and heal. Once again, he insists that Alta is welcome to stay at his tea shop and help him out, at least until she fully recovers. And still unable to even lift her sword, Alta reluctantly agrees. Then we take on our very first customers. Some are more excited about a fresh cup of tea than others, and it was really interesting to see the different customers' personalities, which were a lot quirkier than I expected. We can also learn a lot about their backstories if we are open to listening to them. There is a lot of dialogue, and making different flavor choices grants us little mementos, such as photos, that we can display in our tea shop. But not only can we serve customers tea, we can also drink our own tea. And different tea blends actually evoke different memories when we sit on a bench and reflect. This is a great way to learn more about Alta's story, how she feels about her past, and the complicated emotions she is going through. I think there is a lot more to explore in this game than meets the eye, even in the little pluffins. These penguin-like creatures waddle around everywhere and they are super adorable, but also a little cheeky because they actually stole my tea and took on its color. So I am very excited to see what is going on with that. Alta's entire struggle of feeling unproductive, wanting to keep moving, but needing time to rest hit a lot closer to home than I expected. And that honestly speaks volumes about the quality of Wanderstop's writing and direction. It really made me feel connected to the characters and even got me emotional within my first hour of gameplay. And I honestly think that some of the things said in this game might be exactly what some of you guys need to hear if you're feeling burnt out or stressed in life. I can only wholeheartedly recommend playing this game, either when it rolls out on March 11th or when it comes to Steam for the next Steam Fest. But this is everything from me. Have a wonderful day, lovelies, and see you in the next video.